Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Alberta, and welcome to episode 6 of the Bookia Life Chat Show. Today, we have a special guest. His name is Chef Alain Grech. He is the chef patron at the Chef's Table located in Bookia. And we're going to be talking a bit about food, menu setups, a program that he's been working on with a few of his colleagues as well as different things as well, with COVID-19, how Malta, has everyone in all the restaurants have been going through this difficult situation, the struggles that he's seen, how he's managed to overcome, how he's been doing and everything. In the meantime, I do want to let everyone know first off, if you have any questions, comments, feedback for Alain, please do put them in the comments while we are live, and we'll be able to have him answer your questions, answer your feedback. And so even if you just want to say a quick hello. I met Alain when we actually set him up on Bookia.mt. So for everyone that is watching the show, if you haven't visited the website, it's Bookia, Bookia.mt. You have over 240 restaurants there, and you're actually able to book online based on the preference. If you're looking for a particular cuisine type, you want to book the Chef's Table, you want to book anything at all, we'll be able to help you out. Even if you want to contact us directly, we'll be able to even recommend different locations for you to try out different restaurants. I am going to invite Alain in. So let's give him a big hello. Hi.
Hello.
All right. How are you?
Very good. Yourself?
Very good. Very good. Thank you. How's your week been so far?
How's been
Your
my
week
day?
been so far?
My week is always very busy
Eva?
because Monday it's after the weekend, so I have to run around and do as much shopping as possible. Then Tuesday we are busy doing double recording of the TV program.
All right.
On Wednesday it was a celebration of my wife's birthday, so
Oh, cool. Happy
we, we,
birthday.
we went to Melilla, went to a nice restaurant, stayed in a hotel, and had a lovely time to relax
Very
a bit
good.
as well. And now it's back to work, getting ready for hopefully a busy weekend.
Very good. Very good. And you are operating for the weekends, correct?
Sorry?
The restaurant you are operating all weekends.
At the moment, we are open, of course, every day, but in the weekend, it's where, usually you get your expenses and maybe you make something if you're
Very
lucky
good.
enough at the moment.
Very good, very good. So for all our viewers to know, I have prepared a set of questions for Alain today, and I'm going to be covering the different subjects with you, be it the program, so Gourmet Challenge, the specific the restaurant, and other things, even with COVID-19. You know how the year has been for you as a chef and for the restaurant. But first off, if you could explain a bit how you started, what gave you the inspiration to become a chef, how you came about to growing into the food industry, and even your experiences that you've gone through so far.
So when I was basically 13, 14 years old, I used to go help my father. My father was a very well-renowned mechanic working in
Okay.
cars, so it has nothing to do with
Nothing
food.
at all.
But he always like got in me this thing that you have to work in life, because it's very very important. So I used to go help him, and in the summer we used to live in Bujibba here, and then once my friend he called me and they offered me a summer job, and it went
Okay.
we went me and my best friend, and this guy he put me in the kitchen, and the other guy making drinks. So I spent the summer frying chips basically, and carrying gas and this. But I liked it, and then I was like, I will go work in some takeaways, and I started working in takeaways. I
Okay.
wasn't never really like very good in academics, so my mom told me maybe you should, if you like it, go to the catering college. And I went really that time for a joke. I didn't like take it seriously or anything like this. But then I
Tejwin,
remember,
Hanamila.
as that school, and then I remember I started working at the Dolmen as one of my placements, and I was put to work in the a la carte in the Amazonia by the sea,
Okay.
and I really enjoyed that summer. I was cooking lobsters and steaks and these things, and it's like something got in me. And then I went to work abroad, and I went to work in a very good, like small boutique hotel with a very
Uh-huh.
nice restaurant,
Where
and
abroad?
Hotel Duven, Henley on Thames, very close to London.
Okay.
And that
All right.
kind of opened my eyes to a different world, produce, chefs, and I started taking interest in the food scene of the UK and what's happening. Then I came back to Malta, I finished my studies, and I went back to England one more time. I was like, I'm going to try it one more time and see how it goes. And it was
Okay.
another nice experience. Then I came back to Malta, and by that time I was 22. And
Wow.
at 23, I was lucky and unlucky in a way because I got my first job as head chef. I didn't want it, but I got it. So then basically from 23 till now, I've been kind of fending on my own. And it was a
Okay.
bit of a struggle because you skip a lot of steps that usually a chef takes. So like in the last, I don't know, 8 years, I've been trying to teach myself, better myself, and then you get stuck working in a restaurant for a long period of time. So your
Yeah.
mindset becomes of that restaurant. Then of course, when I opened the chef's table around 3 years ago,
Okay.
then I had to find my style
Okay.
of of cooking, because now I'm not working at this place, so I'm doing the food of this place. Now it's this for me. And it's been a roller coaster. Sometimes we
Right.
try this concept, we don't like it, we change, we try this other approach. Now finally I think we are heading on the right direction.
Yeah.
3 years after.
Very good, very good. They always say with startups, it's the first 5 years that is crucial. So you have 2 more years going, but if you succeed from there, then you're good to go. And I am going to put up a comment for you. We have here from Malta Cuisine. They said one of Malta's most talented modern chefs.
Babunka.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very much.
much. Thank you
Thank
guys for
you.
watching the show as well. I think as well it must be a struggle, as in being the chef, you're controlling the kitchen. Then you transitioned into owning your own restaurant. So you had then full control of service, what type of experience you would like every guest to have from start to finish. So when you say a roller coaster, I'm sure there's a lot of lessons to be learned.
Me, I was very lucky that my wife, Noemi, she is raised in the industry as well. She is from Hungary, and her family used to own a restaurant in a hotel. So when she
Okay,
was a little girl, she was there, doing the cutlery and polishing glasses and this sort of thing. So, and when I opened, before we had our boy, she used to work in the front of house.
very
So
good.
her hospitality is so nice and so generous, and she makes the people feel like they are at home. So me then once now she left and she's taking care of my son Noah. Now I'm trying to continue kind of her method, not just
Yes.
spongy service pretentious like this, friendly, approachable, and happy.
All right.
That's my
Okay.
idea.
Does she still come in to step in a little
She's
and
still
help you
very
out?
involved, but now, of course, with a almost 1 year old baby, she doesn't even have time
Yeah,
to sleep.
مشاكل,
So
no. For sure.
very busy.
For sure. Congrats as well on your
Thank you.
son. It is a beautiful experience, but yes, a 1 year old, I think up to their 4 years old, it's quite demanding.
Of
So
course, it's 24 hours, in the night, crying and this.
yes. Oh, I know. I have a 7 year
You know,
old. I
been
know.
there, been there, done there.
I can trust you. I can let you know that by the time they turn 5, 6, 7, then it starts improving because then they're independent. They can start actually helping out and they love doing it. So I'm sure you'll
Perfect.
also have your son then coming into the kitchen with you and helping you out,
That's up.
learning.
That's up to him. I'm not going to impose it on him. I rather have him enjoy the weekend.
طيب. Enjoy it while you're young.
Exactly.
طيب طيب. I wanted to ask you a bit now, especially with your menus. We know that food is continuously evolving. Every time we see a new chef, there's a different style of what they're doing, a different dish. So, are you working on anything new with evolving your menus?
Yes. In fact, this is something that at the moment I am quite obsessed with,
Okay.
because I'm becoming like my own critic in a very big way. So what I do, for example, I tell my sous chef, I tell him, listen, make me this dish. And then I go out in the restaurant, I sit down and I eat it and I critique it. Like I went to a restaurant and I'm eating it, as a customer. And then I am
Okay.
writing everything down, and then I go in the kitchen and I tell him, listen, this, I think if we change it, it's gonna be better. This recipe, I think it's outdated, so we have to think outside of the box. I am lucky enough that a nice lady approached me. She's a very, very good pastry chef as well,
Yes.
and she is coming to help me 2 3 times a week. And we are also developing our homemade desserts. We
Okay.
always did the desserts homemade, but when a chef does it, it's a way. Chefs are. We cook with touch and taste and feel. Then pastry, it's like chemistry, everything by the book. Me,
Yeah.
I'm not really that kind of chef. I admit it. I'm more into, as they say, like I go with the flow.
Yeah.
So, but now to have a pastry chef being involved as well in the business, even the sweets, we are evolving them to a whole new level. So I'm very happy about that.
Super, super. Is there anything new we can expect to see soon on your menu? Any dishes that you haven't had before there?
Well, this last menu we've done, it's totally different than anything we ever produced. We always like to have good vegetarian and vegan dishes
Super.
part incorporated in the menu. We don't like promote ourselves like, oh, we are vegan restaurant or something like this. But I think these days it's good to have, and plus it gets your mind thinking. How you're going to actually make something that is even appealing for a carnivore. Me, that's my idea. If
Yeah.
I make a vegetarian dish, not just it's there because it has to be there. It's there. It needs to have a purpose. It has to taste fantastic, look amazing, and plus, you can do it easily during a service as well. That's what it's all about. New dishes, I don't know. We come up with new dishes every week. So it's
All
always
right.
changing.
Okay,
Constant.
okay. All right. So your menu is changing every different week based
Yes, yes.
on
Um,
meats and everything that you find. What?
based on me, I like to go with my menus now these days more around the vegetables, because the meats you find them all through the year these days, but
Okay.
vegetables, there is some produce that peaks at a certain time of the year. So
Yes.
I like to go pick up the vegetables myself every morning. I go to Imjar. It's my morning outing. It's like a ritual. I drive through Wardiya. There are the beautiful houses and the view. I go there. I enter the fridge. I pick up the things myself. Then I come to the restaurant and I start working like this. So
So that's a
it's all around
beautiful
Mother
wake up
Nature,
in the
basically.
morning.
I like it. I don't
It's
wake up
for
too
sure.
early. I
For
wake up
sure,
at
but
9.
it's still an amazing wake up
Yes,
process.
it's relaxing as well.
For sure, for sure. It's a big difference to having to go through the traffic and the chaos and
Exactly.
everything that we're seeing.
And
So
here, what I have good in this area, that I have everything around me. Then I go to another shop, I buy this, I go to get the wines. Everything is knitted. Me, I hate waiting for deliveries. That's something I hate. So I rather go get it myself. I'm that kind of guy.
طيب, طيب. And then on your menus, do you have a mix between meat and seafood? Do you mostly excel in fish dishes?
My menus, they are like classic menus. So we always start from the lightest and we go to the heaviest. So if you have
Okay,
like the main courses, we start with the vegetarian, then we go to the fish, and then we shift into like chicken, game, or something like this, rabbit,
okay,
depending on what we feel like doing. And then you start with the pork. Usually there's always a local pork dish. And then there is a beef, whether it's a ribeye, sirloin, fillet, or then in the winter you shift into short ribs and things like this, braised things. And then there's always a lamb. You finish with the lamb because the lamb is the heaviest meat, the heaviest protein.
okay, okay,
But then we also have the specials. So we have two types of fish every day. So we give people choice. Usually we have like a grouper, and then we get something with like or a wild sea bass or a
okay,
meager or a red snapper. But here is don't expect to come to the chef's table and eat a whole fish. I don't serve whole fish. If you
okay.
want whole fish, there are a lot of fish restaurants. Here, the fish is filleted. You have no bones. Usually it's pan fried, crispy skin, how it
I
should be.
love it. I love it.
like this.
For me, it's a nightmare when somebody comes and gives me a fish with the head and everything's still there. I can't
And
deal
I
with
hate and I hate bones, you know. So I pin bone everything for the customer.
it.
Even if
لا
I
ما
make you
make
a prawn, if you have a prawn at my restaurant, the prawn is peeled. You don't even
طيب
have to stay playing with it. Yes,
طيب ملا me and my son will be coming over very soon and I'm never
lovely.
going to have to peel the prawns ever again. لسه. طيب would you tell me like I mean where does your inspiration come from specifically on building these menus and working on these like focusing mostly on vegetarian sort of like having this experience that can come out for every type of food palette a person has.
So inspiration, it comes from a lot from abroad because I am all the time, you know, seeing videos on YouTube and taking interest of what's happening in the general industry. You know,
Yeah.
different food trends and different styles. You know, for example, now I like it the food because it's gone back to its roots. Before, you know, there was this trend, everything molecular and a lot of foams and this. I never was really into it. Now the food is more natural. And then you know you have to always go with the times. The palate of people is always changing. People are more aware of the food they are eating. You know, sustainability. Where are you getting the produce? You know, everything is a important factor to have a nice balanced menu. You know, it's not just
Very
one
good.
dish. You have to have
Yeah.
all the. We have 10 dishes. They all have to be of the same level. Pointless. You have one dish which is kind of a Michelin star standard, and then you have the others. You know, which are not. You know, that's how I
Exact.
see it.
Very good, very good. Is there a particular chef that inspires you to grow and become like, or a particular different chefs?
Well, there are a lot of chefs. Usually, me, I always liked the UK food industry, and when I was, growing in the industry, basically, there was always this like Gordon Ramsay and
Mela.
then the whole Marco Pierre White, and they fighting with each other, and chef life, it's a bit like this, there is that kind of jealousy between each other, but then there is the friendship.
There's
It's
always a challenge that we always have to make the right dish better than anyone else.
you have to
Well,
always try to outsmart your competition. But competition it's everywhere. But me, I try to give the friendship to everyone. Then if you want to be my friend, be my friend. If you want to go talk behind my back, it's up to you. In the end
طيب
of the day, I don't care.
طيب. I have another comment for you here, Alain. From Ben Vincenti who said, "Hi guys, hi Ben, and happy birthday, Ben."
Happy birthday.
And he actually told you as well, can't wait to dine out at the chef's table. And I am actually craving a dining out experience there as well.
Looking forward to host all of you. It would be an honor.
Super, super. Thank you, Ben, for your comments. Thank you, even for watching the show. I've covered pretty much what I wanted to ask you, even with inspiration. I think you've answered it
Yeah.
very well for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, the next thing I wanted to go on with you is the dining experience that you offer at the chef's table. What can an person expect in dining experience?
So, if I have to explain what this restaurant it's all about. It's good for many different occasions. Let's say it is during the week and you want to enjoy a nice place of fresh pasta with prawns and fish. You can come and have it. Let's say you have a special occasion, you want to impress someone. You can come and we create for you 8 course tasting menu.
Okay.
The value for money has always been something that we really push as well. We don't try to rob anyone. Just because the food looks nice, it doesn't have to be very expensive. Of course, you pay for what
For
you
what
get.
you get.
Even the wine list, we have range from 15, 16 euro, keep on going to 120, 150 euro. So we appeal to different palates and to different budgets, of course. We are very popular as well on Sundays. We do traditional British Sunday roast, which is
Aha.
yes, and but it's like a posh roast. Um, uh, we do all the trimmings, Yorkshire puddings. We get a nice beef rib on the bone. chicken, corn-fed chicken on same thing, half roasted, which is lovely. Lamb rump, local pork belly, and that's something very popular on Sundays. People really hype up about it, and we will keep it as long as we are open because it's something nice. uh, so the service is professional, but it's not intrusive. So we give you
Okay.
your time to breathe. When we try and understand the customer. Very important that the service is with a smile. That's something we stick with it. You can come and feel at home. Even the ambience is very homely. It's an old house. Basically. So
Okay.
there is. We have private dining facilities as well for who
Very
would
good.
like total privacy. Don't want to mix up with other people, especially at this time of the corona. Sometimes I open it even for a table of two if they don't want
Okay.
to be around anyone. And we're very flexible. We
Very
understand
good.
your needs, and we are here to give you the best we can possibly can.
Cool. Okay. And with the private dining, is there like like what capacity can it take on, like even during COVID?
Yeah, the moment you're in COVID, of course, we are limited. We cannot do more than what is required by the government. But generally speaking, it can take 16 people
Okay. All right.
comfortably.
Okay.
Then, if they want more, I tell you, listen, you will not be 100% comfortable, but comfortably 16.
Very good. Very good. Of
Air
course, right now.
conditioned and away from everything.
All right, okay. And of course, right now, as we know with regulations, the tables have to be limited as well. So of course, it's going to affect with this of the quantity of maximum 16. So
Of
let's say
course.
10 people, private dining at the moment, you can cater for comfortably during COVID.
Exactly.
طيب
Exactly.
طيب. Very
Yes.
good. Very good as well. I'm mentioning it for everyone watching the show because we've been speaking to different people. Christmas events, it's a sort of like a question mark. People are uncertain. Should we do them? Should we not? Sort of. So knowing Isma, even during COVID, I can take on a table of 10 for you in this space and you won't have other people coming in. It's very good.
Exactly.
It's very good.
Exactly.
I know as well that you try to focus a little with a fine dining experience at the restaurant, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that comes from the presentation and the quality of the ingredients that we use. Um, uh, of course, even the professionalism of the front of house staff, how the place is set up, but the people, I don't, I never write the chef's table fine dining restaurant because I'm not a pretentious guy, but you know what to expect,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
cannot say I'm fast food, but I cannot. When I compare myself to a fine dining restaurant in France, I'm not that. I'm a bistro. You know what I mean? But
Yes. But you want people to be comfortable at the same time. So
yes,
it's
exactly.
casual, but they're getting the experience of a fine dining restaurant anyways.
Yes,
It's just,
that's it. And
I
and, and,
mean,
and I think that this is the trend where fine dining is actually going, because you don't have to come wearing a blazer or a suit. Before, when we used to go eat in a 2, 3 Michelin star restaurant in London, if you don't go with a full suit, they don't
they
let
won't
you
let
in.
you in.
And there were a lot of these formalities. If the man gets the menu with the prices, the woman doesn't. This French pushiness. I'm not about this thing. It's just a place of
Tayyip,
enjoyment, not a
Tayyip,
temple.
this
I don't
is
want a
good of
temple.
the menu. Tell
That's
me
how
where
it
these
used to be. Yeah,
restaurants are, that's I will
that's how
go.
it used to be.
This is true.
Not the man nor the woman, the host
The
and
host.
the person who is invited. So I
Yeah.
want to be correct,
Tayyip,
politically
Tayyip,
correct.
Tayyip, okay. Are there any memorable experiences that you would tell me in your career as a chef now?
Memorable experience. Well, I think the most memorable is the day we opened the door, because we had a very big party, and there were all my friends and people from the industry, and it ended up in a very big mess. But it was nice. The rest, definitely, I don't know. I'm still very underachieved. I think I still have a lot to do, in this industry.
All right.
So that's how I see it.
Tayyip, Tayyip. I like the way you speak of yourself. You're very humble as a person. I have to say. I I mean, I didn't expect it at all. Like when I came, like the more you're telling me about yourself, like you're a very, very humble person. You're very, very nice. The way you're setting up and building and growing everything, I mean, it just makes me want to come to your restaurant and actually experience what you're working
because
on.
because the thing is that I'm not a businessman. I'm trying to be, but if I'm a businessman, I think I'm a very bad one. Because it's, because in hospitality, the word in itself, you are here to please the guest. And me, for example, I hate when food costs, for example. Everyone is obsessed with this food cost, and when you're like over obsessed with the numbers and this, I think that you are missing out the bigger price. If you're here to please the guest, you need to be generous with the
Yeah.
guest. And that's something I still don't. It's not the right way for business, but me, I'm here to please the customer in the end of the day. And if I have to make a bit less money to make my customer happy, I'm happy with that. That
Yes.
simple
At
as
the
that.
end of the day, it will still give you long-term value because if you're showing passion in the dishes and generosity, then that person is just more likely to come the next time, second, third, fourth time round.
And I think now it's a crucial time, for general businesses, is to not let this, situation intimidate, because after the bad coming the good. So now
Yes,
I think it's a very good time to try and, better ourselves and better our product. So when we are winning again, I think then we will win even
very
better,
good.
in my
Very good,
opinion.
very
Maybe
good.
I will fail, I don't know, but
No, let's hope not.
that's what
Let's
I'm
hope
trying
not.
to do.
Tayyip. I mean, since you've already mentioned it, it was my next question for you. This year hasn't been the best of the best. There's been a lot of struggles. I would like to know how COVID-19 has affected you as a chef and your business, and even if you've had any big difficult struggles that you've had to come over and how you've overcome these as well.
So when it started, me, I've been listening about COVID. Now I remember it was the day my son was born. It was January the 27th, and the same day there was the restaurant awards in Hilton. So after my wife gave birth, I spent 1 hour there, and then I had to run home after being awake for 40 hours, wear a suit, and go to the bloody restaurant awards. All right. So you can imagine, and I went there, and everyone is talking about COVID. COVID. Oh, this year we're gonna get it. And me, as an idiot, positive guy that I am. Oh no, don't worry, guys. It's gonna be all right. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. And then eventually, February came, and then March came, and boom, now the
Yes.
situation, this is it's real, it's here, boom. And of course, I took the decision before, the government said you had to close. I said, you know what, let us close.
Yeah.
Let's see what
Apart from
happens.
that, you had a very young baby to take care of and make sure that your family
Exactly,
stays safe. So,
exactly. Then I spent 1 week at home, and I was worried, like, okay, how I'm going to take care of my stuff, my team. They are all young, they all depend on this income. So my first struggle was how I'm going to keep these people. Like, do I afford to actually pay them? A lot of money I didn't have in the bank because I just bought my house and made their conditions and sofas and beds and baby and
the
everything.
baby that comes expensive on its own. I mean, everyone knows it, I'm sure.
So I was trying to, find this kind of way, and I decided straight away that I'm going to give them 100 euros every week just for survival since we are closed. That was my first
Okay.
thing. Then the government announced that there going to be some help, and he said we're going to get 150 euros, and like, what is this? This is like a joke. And so I was like, you know what? I need to make money. I need to do something. So I set up. I made these beef Wellingtons, and in that weekend I sold out.
Oh, wow.
And I decided to make a delivery system, but I didn't want to do a delivery like hot food, because this kind of food I don't believe that it's good to be served in a box piping hot.
And the
So I
beef
made
Wellington is quite a difficult recipe. I mean, it's not.
like everything. So I created a system where the customer they order the food from me, I get them everything cooked and chilled, and then with instructions to reheat it at home.
Okay.
And we were still turning over 2,000 a week, 1,500. In Easter week we picked up, and it kept that little bit of cash flow.
Yeah.
Then came the wage supplement, so it was another boost in
Very
the
good.
morale. And we kept on, working on that. Then eventually it came the time when we have to open, and when we opened, the airport was still closed. The people were still afraid, so it was really, really quiet. And I was thinking, better we stayed closed because I'm throwing money like this. All right, no problem. Money comes, money goes.
Yeah.
Then started a bit that tourism, and the country opened up, and there were the vouchers, and we got a little boost in the economy, so we started working again. But the best thing out of it, in my opinion, was that in this time we had time to reflect, and we had time to find our feet, and we had time to see what we're doing bad and where we have to improve. So straight away, I improved my marketing. I recruited a company, and I started working with them. Then I saw what they are doing, and it was kind of repetitive. So I was like, I do it myself.
Okay.
For now. Then in the future we see. So that was something we tackled. We needed to tackle a bit more the decor of the shop because it doesn't reflect what we're really about. So we worked a lot on that. Now, in fact, in 2 weeks' time, I'm closing down and I'm retailing the whole restaurant. So I made sure that it's up to the standard what I want. People call me crazy, but it's what it is. That's what I believe,
You
and
want to do it? Go for it. I mean,
we have to be the best. So we're gonna be the best. And same thing with the food. We had time to think even more, how to redefine our style and this. And now I must say that I have a product which I'm very confident with. So thank you, COVID.
I mean, it is very true. And a lot of people have had time to restructure, stop, slow down, think, spend some more time with family. I mean, there were a lot of positives. Sometimes I think that before everything happened, perhaps people were too busy, sort of
I used to take
busy
people
means
for granted.
just going too fast.
We used to take customers for granted. We used to take tourism for granted. Because I am in a tourist location. I was always in my back of my mind. You know what? I have my revenue coming. The people I build them slowly. But then I was like, you know what? I have to do something about it and try and be the best I can for the local customer.
Of
Which is
course, of course.
everything.
You were targeting, I mean, quite a bit with the tourism, correct, in previous
I
years?
mean, it was 60% of my revenue. So
Yeah,
it's automatic. If you open the door, even if you're selling, I don't know, a soap, you're gonna sell it to someone. That's how this location is when it comes to tourism. Then when it comes to local, you have to work harder, I think, than other places.
yeah.
But one thing has advantage, one thing has the disadvantage. Then you see if it works for you. If you like it, do it. If you don't like it, shut the door, go and
Yeah. And
go
have
find
you
a job.
managed to increase a bit with the local industry
I
to
I
attract
I
more
I think
locals?
this year we've seen the biggest growth with local people.
Very good.
The
Very good.
biggest the biggest growth. Some weeks, we're doing the turnover that we used to do last year with the tourists.
Okay.
So for me, for the situation like this, I'm very proud. But
Mashek, Mashek.
still, it's not good enough. We can always be better.
Of
But
course, of course. But do you see that it's coming from the locals wanting to try and help out the local industry, or is it your marketing that you've boosted, and all the
I
restructures that you've done?
I think it's all about consistency. Life is all about consistency. If you do something good for a long time, you see the benefit out of
Yeah,
it. If you do something bad for a long time, you see the benefit of the bad thing that you are doing. So I think if you're consistent with your marketing, if you're consistent with your good product, if you're consistent with being good to your customer, I think that long term you will see the return. I don't believe in quick fixes. It's nothing happens like this. It's all about time and patience.
Very good, very good. And even you, I mean, as produce and so, you use the locals around you. So people coming to eat out at your restaurant at the end of the day are helping the farmer in Mjar that you buy the
Of
vegetables
course,
from every day. And so it's a whole cycle at
it's
the
a,
end of the
it's a
day.
chain.
Yeah.
It's a chain.
Your wine
And
supplier, your butcher, your
everything.
fish person.
My landlord,
Yes.
it's a whole thing. Oh.
Very true, very true. I think I've covered everything with COVID. I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to add to this
No,
particular
I think
point.
we explained it well.
طيب, طيب. My next question is, I want to know about this program.
Sorry,
Alright.
sorry
Raġa,
about that.
my ear
I
is
put,
slightly
I will
left.
put it, I will put it on mute.
Thank you. Għax I'm with the speakers, out with the
Yes, yes,
headphones.
yes, yes. It's not coming anymore. Don't worry.
Thank you. Mela, I want to know about Gourmet Challenge, how you guys came up with the idea, when you started this, and the whole concept.
So, Gourmet Challenge, I didn't invent it.
Okay.
Gourmet Challenge, it's a show owned by Malta Today, which is a newspaper advertising,
I think
page.
everyone in Malta knows Malta Today.
Yes, they started doing the Gourmet show, and then last year I was invited to go on Gourmet Challenge as a guest judge. Daniel Grech, who is one of the co-presenters, is a very good
Yeah,
friend of mine. We work together as well, and we have this kind of brotherly friendship,
very good.
And then I remember they invited me to go and cook on the show. It was like a joke, And I
Okay.
went, and then the week after they called me. They told me, "Listen, Daniel cannot come. You want to come?" And I went, and then I ended up doing like 2 months straight on it. And you become friends with the people, and I always try to educate the person who is watching the television, so I try
Yeah.
to give as much information about my knowledge of food as possible, and it went down well with the producers and everything. So then when it was season 2, they invited me to co-host it as well. So now it's me, Philippa, and Daniel.
Super,
And
super.
now we changed a bit the setup of the show as well to make it a bit more exciting and a bit more fast paced, and so far it's going well, it's fun. It's a nice experience as well. And
Cool,
plus
cool.
it's good exposure and good for the restaurant as
A
well,
chef for all of you, exactly.
Exactly.
And you just started season 2, right? Last month.
Yeah, now we are like episode 7, which
Okay.
is airing.
طيب,
Going well
طيب.
so far.
So, so,
A lot of people cut their hands, and
yeah.
and it's a good laugh.
So if I understood correctly, you basically get home cooks and they're
Yes.
in a challenge, but you come up with the recipes for them. Do they
So
know the recipe beforehand?
the phase 1 is everyone has to make his signature dish, but
Okay.
it's something that they can do in half an hour.
Okay.
So it's very hard. So if you overcomplicate it, you're going to put yourself in a deep hole.
Tortilla
And
reps jkollok
us,
minn għandi.
we judge that the 2 plates or what they decide to make, and which we think is the best one. No, because it's two contestants, against
Okay,
each other.
okay, okay,
And
okay.
they need to make 3 plates each. So one for me, one for Daniel, one for Philippa.
Okay, wow, okay.
And then we taste them and we judge, and we say, okay, this person can go through. This person is eliminated. Now, when it comes the second phase of the competition, it's going to be they have to recreate a dish that I do or that Daniel does. So, for this episode, we're gonna do. I will cook this dish. The people will see me, and then they need to try and recreate the
On
same
the spot. So they're
on
gonna
the
come to
spot.
the show first, see you. They need to
Yes.
remember everything. Ah, that's really cool.
Yes,
I like
they
that.
need to have a little pen and paper and
Mela.
write temperatures and this and try and do something technical.
Oh wow.
Then who passes from that, they will have the third phase. It's mystery box. So we give them ingredients and they have to cook something from the mystery ingredients. And then there's the semi-finals and the finals. And then hopefully we have a winner and a talent.
I don't even want to know what would be in the mystery box because I'm sure it will be different things that you would have never expected to put together. And
It depending. If I do it, it's something. If Daniel does it, Daniel he is more crazy than me, so he'll give them, I don't know, banana with chicken or something like this, you know. But he is not. Hello, Daniel. Love
hi,
you.
Daniel. No, I really think it's a really cool concept. I think Malta TV in Malta needed something like this where you laugh. It's on the spot, and it's something different. We're not talking about singing and dancing, and these
It's a
things.
joke, you know. We are joking with them. We give them like these mystery bottles where they have to do something crazy or eat a whole chili or put cinnamon in your mouth. You know, ridiculous, funny things. But I think it's fun. You
Taifa,
know, why not? Bring a bit
definitely,
of
definitely.
positivity as well.
And how do you come to getting the contestants? Do they come to you to apply? Do you have call outs?
They were doing advertising on the Malta Today website and on the newspaper and on Facebook and on the Gourmet magazine as well. And
And then you fine tune from who is
exactly,
applying.
and then they send an email with their details. They call them, and you know, you
Phone
need
interview. But you know
exactly.
how to cook? I mean, how do you switch on the cooker? All right, طيب, you're in.
And a lot of people from TikTok are coming as well. You know,
Yes,
yes. So there are these really funny people. There was the I don't know if you know Kaboch and
Eva.
Sheha. They came and they cook against each other, and everyone loves them. They are very sweet. And we had a couple more of people from TikTok as well, you know. So
طيب,
it's
طيب.
like it's a
I
good, networking as well. You know, you meet new people and you make friends as well, which is
exactly,
it's nice. Like
exactly,
I'm doing
exactly.
with you now.
طيبة. Thank you very much, Alan. My last question for you today. I wanted to see if you have any advice for fellow restaurateurs, for people that are dining out, even new coming chefs.
Well, my I'm not really a person who I'm good at giving advice because I think I need advice. But from what I how I see the world, I think we are close, not to the end of COVID, but soon there's going to be, I think, some light to look forward to. I think we have to prepare ourselves because Malta, it's a very nice country. It has a lot of potential, and I think that once this thing is something of the past, I think we are going to shoot up back to where we were, or we will be even busier. Let us hope that we don't lose a lot of people by
Yes.
the time we arrive this, because it's a shame. And we just pray for a better future. To the customers, I tell them thank you very much for always being to our support. We love you a lot. To people who never came, I really would like to welcome you. So I share my love for food and hospitality with you as well. And to fellow chefs, I tell them keep on learning and enjoy the process.
Super.
That's it.
Super. I love that ending, Alain. That was perfect. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation for
My
today's show.
pleasure. Been a pleasure to talk to you and to everyone on Facebook.
Super, super. I don't know if you have any final words. I am going to look into ending the show for this time, so I do hope to see you soon, Alain.
Well, I will say just one thing. Hello, Noah, my son.
Save this video then.
Exactly. He's seeing me probably at home with mommy.
Oh, a shout out as well to your wife, Noemi, right? You
Oh,
said.
and yes.
Tanya.
Mwah.
So thank you very much. Thank you for everyone that's been watching the show. I am going to wave you goodbye, Ellen, and I'm going to slowly end the show. So I do hope to see you soon. And
Thank you
keep
so much.
strong, keep
Pleasure.
positive, and keep this amazing positivity that you have, this humbleness. You're going to go forward long ways with this.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
See you.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. There you have it, guys. This was episode 6 of the Bookie Live Chat Show. I loved actually this episode with Alain. I think he's very talented. I think there's a lot of places that he can go. Very nice, very down to earth person. You can even understand the way that he's been working on, even during COVID, rather than just sitting down and waiting for everything to pass. He's been working on different things, evolving the menu, improving things, seeing if he can improve anything with service, making sure that his staff, are there, are able to, continue living and week after week. I'd love as well this program that they've been working on, Gourmet Challenge. I believe it will be very successful. I do think that the TV needed a big change. Should you guys wish to book at the Chef's Table, I have put the link for you guys in the post description. So you'll be able to see he has a full profile on bookia.mt. It's bookia.mt. If anyone has any questions, feedback, you need any help, you want us to help you to get in touch with Alain, please do let us know and we'll help you out. And thank you again to everyone, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.